After a riveting performance from Mouse in Game 1, he's able to close out the match and take that victory over Vici Gaming. Now we're back to see if Vici can bring us back to a Game 3 or if Rogue Warriors will once again exert dominance. And I gotta think, I'm gonna get comfortable real quick. I just gotta.
That's not comfy at all. Thank God we panned away.
Cut away from me.
Thank God.
You
Correct
cut away.
decision.
Look at that man.
Steak looks
it is
magnificent
so comfortable
right now.
Oh.
You know, sorry, not Scout. Mouse and Steak, twins when it comes to their hairstyles. Mouse often looks like he has just woken up. The back of his head often sticks up the hair. You can see it just a little bit there. It's because of the headsets.
Yeah.
It is a reoccurring problem that everyone has to experience when having hair and wearing a headset.
Yep, including us. It takes a lot of work to make our hair look this calm and relaxed.
Absolutely true.
Unlike Steak's hair is fantastic, but it looks like he touched a Tesla field.
The
sometimes.
tactical messy.
Yes. Yeah, the tactical mess.
And you said calm and relaxed. I think that is everything Rogue Warriors are looking like right now. Look at the difference between the players' faces on your screen right now. Mouse is all smiles. Very serious on the opposing side here from Vici. And I have no doubt in my mind that all of Rogue Warriors are feeling the same way, because that was just an absolute bopping.
Oh yeah.
They smashed their opponents, no problems at all. The only hiccup, the only thing you can take away from that game from Rogue Warriors as a fault was that one time they overextended in top lane. And that was just to get a turret that was going to go down anyway.
And of course, Swift looking not terrifically happy as he looks across the stage and sees what could have been, what once was,
I
what
hope they
went
hug it out.
to second place in the LPL's 2015 Summer Finals and nearly went to Worlds. But now it's Rogue Warriors who are making their Worlds run, and Swift, he hasn't been international ever. Yeah,
he hasn't.
No, at all.
And you know, a lot of people will compare both Swift and Doinby for their success. And it does feel a lot like that Edward and other guy from Twilight comparison. You can tell that I'm very well versed on Twilight. But for me, I hope at the end of this series that they can put their differences aside, and that they can hug it out, and they can be best frenemies. Because there's always going to be a passionate rivalry against one another. But I do hope that they can get over whatever it was.
Best frenemies. Yes, I think that's a thing. I'm pretty sure if there's any animosity still involved, there's not going to really be a friend aspect to it as we get on to the Rift. Sorry, Champion Select. For this game, too. Again, we've got the Nidalee, Camille, and Rakan band. Now we're seeing Kled, Aatrox. Last time it was Talia, same thing. So Rogue Warriors this time, they were the ones with side selection. They chose blue side, and they are once again first picking this Nocturne. So far, everything is the same. If Vici changed things up, it's here with Yiguan and Swift, where it was Shen and Swain in that first round.
And they've shown Rogue Warriors that they are very confident with their Nocturne. Not just from this set, but from even the ones prior when they played against RNG in a losing game. The Nocturne still found its uses, still found a lot of use in engaging fights. And that vision denial, above all else, seems to prove very useful for the side of Rogue Warriors. Now for the opposing side, I'm not shocked that it will continue to be a Swain, and I also think that Shen has well and truly got its place. The 2v2 looked solid. From the side of Vici, they were not the problem by any means. In fact, they were 2-0, whilst the rest of the map was starting to lose. There are some adaptations that are going to be made here. Denials from their opponent.
Rise picked away from Doinby. Now he gets the chance to take something a bit different into that mid lane, but the Shen that we saw prioritized by Vici in Game 1 is now going to be picked up by Rogue Warriors, currently being hovered. We'll see if they decide to lock it in. As flawless, as relaxed as he can be. Just another day in the office for him as he's casually flexing on one of the best teams in all of China. And yeah, with that Shen now locked in, we get the chance to see what Doinby wants to take into the mid lane.
Yeah, so the Shen secured. Now, one thing that you will have to note here for Vici is that they may be hard-pressed to find a good support for a Swain lane other than perhaps the Alistar, maybe Pyke, and maybe Morgana. Those are the things that you would look at. But Alistar seems to be the #1 option for them right now, in my mind anyway. With Rogue Warriors having locked in that Shen as a denial from Vici, as Vici took the denial first of that Rise. So the cyclical style of this draft is continuing.
There's your aggressive support. Pyke locked in for Caveman. Wasn't able to do too much on that Shen in game 1 because of how he was locked down in the bottom lane by SMLZ and Killua. But this time around, perhaps he can utilize that vision from the Gift of the Drowned One to dodge out of lane and start trying to sneak around, perhaps interact with Doinby and Mouse if he looks for a cheeky gank or roam.
Yeah, I mean, by going towards this Pyke, we mentioned the Alistar as a potential option for them. They've chosen, as you mentioned, the aggressive choice. It has a lot of kill threat still in lane. It's got more damage than the other options would have, but it doesn't have the sustainability or the team fighting prowess. It's much more of a pick composition here that Vici have started to compose for themselves, and you'll notice that Rogue Warriors, through their next phase of bans, whilst it is jungle is being attacked from Swift, Trundle, very good in pick compositions, very good in pick and siege styles just by having the pillar available. So they're going to remove that one, and I wouldn't be shocked to see another jungler perhaps taken off the board.
Already the Trundle, Nidalee, Camille, Graves, Kindred, many strong picks that can be taken away by Rogue Warriors. As
they may consider the Kindred actually as a ban. That's not a bad choice for them.
Yeah. Yuguan hasn't gotten his pick just yet. We'll see if they decide to pick for Swift or Yuguan here, saving that counter pick as there's the Kindred ban. And Yuguan, he got absolutely camped to high heaven in that game 1. Now he's going to look at this blind picks against Mouse.
Could also jungle. Swift has got a 1-0 record on that Jax in the jungle role.
Oh yeah, you're correct.
He's also a Lee Sin player. We'll have to see where he goes because the jungle pool has been hard targeted. Now, all of the options that he is currently considering are not tanks. They are not tanks at all. They are not really frontliners. They'll be bruisers at best. And that is a big risk. Once again, like game number 1, if they fall behind with the composition Vici have got, if it's pick-oriented and it's behind, then it's just going to be about vision control, number advantages, and trying to find their moments. But that's where they've been fairly weak so far.
And to come back to that, that's still not been a lot of tanks out of Swift. Generally, he does like to play those more aggressive players, as Jin now gets locked in. You were alluding to it earlier in Pick and Ban for game 1, but now we get the chance to see it for ourselves.
I've been alluding towards it pretty much every day of my life, waiting for the moment that someone would just secure the damn
He did this
champion.
preparation weeks ago.
I did. I was playing the heck out of it solo queued. Hail of Blades Jin is a very strong thing. Of course, this isn't the first time that we'll see it running around in League of Legends at all from 8.13 and beyond. Just the first time that I have seen it here in the LPL. As alongside that Jin comes a Jace. Now, that is a very curious choice here. Mouse is going to be the recipient of that champion. Mouse playing a carry and blind picking a carry at that with no idea what his opponent is going to play. Tell me that's not the most alpha decision you've seen from Mouse since his existence as a player.
Considering that game 1, he knows he's up against Yuguan on now that Ornn, as Yuguan will get counterpicked. This is much more in Yuguan's wheelhouse. This is what we expected to see him play, as he's played it a lot on Unlimited Potential in the LDL. So trying to get him on that comfort, that also does provide very solid engage for Vici Gaming on top of having a Pyke.
Yes.
So if Vici ever find themselves with an advantage, they also have a way to go forward with it.
Now, it assists the entire composition by generating pick with its range engage as well, and it also does provide it's a frontline tool for Vici. So their composition with the 5th pick rounds them out very well. That is the most crucial pick of their draft so far, and will enable them to do so much more than they'd otherwise be able to do. You can also craft yourself some cloth armors through that laning phase against the Jace. So all of the lethality that Jace tends to rush may not be as effective in the lane matchup. In saying that, we'll have to see where Mouse goes with his build.
Yeah, I think we'll also have to keep our eyes on the junglers as well for interacting with that lane, because it's not just Mouse, though we did see him take a laning advantage. It was Doinby and Flawless following up on the advantage that Mouse was able to open.
And I do think it's a pretty big power play here from Mouse, putting the foot down, because that could be a Cannon, could be a Gnar, could be other champions, you know, that will do the similar thing to Jace through laning phase, but they'll be a bit more either safe in their blind pickableness, which is now a word, or their team fight utility. Jace is a difficult to execute champion for the most part, that when ahead is unstoppable, but when even a little bit behind, maybe even tends to drop off in its utility unless you are an amazing Jace player.
Well, luckily, Rogue Warriors also have themselves a bit of a wombo combo with the Orianna, Jace, able to lock people down very aggressively, even putting the ball on top of the Nocturne if they find themselves in those wacky team fight scenarios, plus the immense amount of poke that the Jhin and Jace and Orianna are able to set up. So even if Rogue Warriors find themselves falling behind, it's not going to be too difficult for them to try and stall it out. That said, the onus is now on Vici. It is now or never. This is the worst team in the league. If they want to get into playoffs, they have to start showing us a reason why. And they need to do it here against longtime rival Doinby and Rogue Warriors as we get onto the Rift for Game 2 between Rogue Warriors and Vici Gaming.
I'll give him that one. Less proximity to the microphone, but still just as loud. The Vici fans here in the Shanghai Battle Arena definitely still out in force for this game number 2. Lots of support for the team, and that's the thing. The LPL is just so massive. Even if they are the worst performing team, they are still the worst of the best.
Yes.
And there are just so many diehard fans available.
We've got 14 teams in the LPL. These are the best 14 teams in China, which is one of the most massive regions of league in the world, which puts them pretty high on the scale, even if they might be at the bottom of this one specifically. But there's your Hail of Blades, Rusty.
Yes, we've got the Keystone Masteries on the screen. Domination secondary for Doinby is always going to be a peculiar one for the Orianna. Not going towards a stopwatch or anything in Inspiration. Stopwatch is a very big deal for most people. You can see 5 inspirations across the board there for the most part. So that one, we'll have to see how it goes. Now, the Hail of Blades Jhin is massive, and it is super efficient as a Keystone. It can empower things like going towards boots at level 1 if you want as Jhin. To have that move speed, attacking champions, of course, giving you an attack speed bonus as Jhin, gives you AD as a bonus. And it's pretty much efficient from level 1.
Ooh, that's the never move. Caveman actually lands the follow-up Bone Skewer, and SMLZ didn't want that trade.
No, he did not. He started with Doran's Blade, not boots, like we mentioned before. So Blade giving that extra health, not going to do a whole... Oh, God.
Oh, no. Now he sees it. Walking up, but he did just use the Fear, and Smite from Swift secures it. And now that means that Flawless has to back away from the Scuttle Crab. Yiguan was pushing top lane, so Mouse couldn't follow up. Doinby on that Orianna, not able to do anything at such early levels, meant that it was just between Swift and Flawless. But Smite. He's right there, and Smite secure. That's the Fear, though. Flawless doesn't have a lot of mana. There's the Duskbringer. Eats a few auto attacks, and Swift flashes the wall.
That's amazing. So the fact that they had to smite the blue buff Swift just to take that away means that he doesn't have the smite available for the Scuttle Crab. And super smart pathing from Flawless to go from his blue buff, do a full circle, go to where the Scuttle will presumably be being kited by Swift on that Graves. And suddenly he's able to smite it away. And if he didn't get the Scuttle, he was out of mana. So by stealing the Scuttle away, he gets enough mana back to engage on his opponent, proc the lethal tempo once the Fear is on, and force a Summoner spell. Flawless, that was super clutch coming out of the jungler here of Rogue Warriors in just a 1v1.
Again, this is not the Chaogu Reapers of old. This is not the newbie of 2016 or even 2017. This is a brand new team that Doinby and his team is on. And now he's stepping up on Swift. Remember, there's no flash for Swift. And with Doinby pushing up, even Killua pushing into the bottom lane, it's Rogue Warriors moving as a collective unit with the flash Shadow Dash snare, first blood. As a team,
the thumbs up
back
as well from all of Rogue Warriors on the backside. We've got emotes enabled in this league. We will have some fun in the LPL, and that early aggression from Rogue Warriors pays dividends. Now, Vici, you would say maybe they shouldn't have been there. But I'm pretty past the point of saying Vici shouldn't be in places. They are just exactly where they want to be at any moment. It's just the wrong place this time.
Ooh, that's actually the snare onto Caveman. Never move will land on a SMLZ plus the Visions of Empire and a Death's Hand. But SMLZ does have the Doran's Blade to regenerate, whereas Caveman just looking at that Targon's, the Brace, and his health potion to give him sustain.
And I think, I can't remember, taking that blue buff gave level 3 to 4? Sorry.
It did, yes. He got the spell shield off the back and was able to use it to deny the Bone Skewer of Caveman. Now we're seeing a Shadow Dash into the bottom lane. Already SMLZ is the target, but no, Caveman misses. And immediately, Caveman forced to flash back as his AD carry dies to the CC combo of Rogue Warriors.
There's two types of people, Dom. You said he missed, as I said he dodged it. SMLZ, either way, does not get stunned down. They're able to get themselves a successful disengage on the AD carry, and the kill was inevitable regardless. Snow, low death timers, is going to teleport in and catch the full wave, but he does die, and the kill does go over to the side of Rogue Warriors, namely into the hands of Flawless. He's capitalized his L for no reason at the moment.
Oh.
He's going to be a big Nocturne.
Do you think that's what his name means? It's not a perfect reading of he is flawless, like perfect, but he is flawing less. He has less of the flaws.
I think his original name was Flaw, so you're not entirely wrong.
That makes sense, yes.
He's on a progressional path here. He's discovering himself.
Flawless. So you're telling me in 2019 spring he's going to be flaw none?
No, he'll be perfect.
Oh, I see, I see.
The perfect player in the LPL
Perfect,
right now.
yeah, if ever there was one.
Of course, that's impossible. When you look at Rogue Warriors playing League of Legends, they play calculated risk. The LPL as a region plays calculated risk. They force errors from their opponents.
It's the coin flips.
I don't think there is such thing as the perfect player, so to speak, in the LPL.
Is there a perfect player in the world?
I mean, the LCK tries to play perfectly. I don't think there is currently the perfect player, no.
Has there ever been?
2014 FLICKR.
Hey, that's a good answer. Pity he didn't end up going to Worlds.
2015, I meant to say.
Okay, well, 2015
picked
there it was.
Yeah.
That's the Ignite. Killua is going to drop the Spirit's Refuge. Swift dashes up, hits one auto. They're looking for the dive. That's another, but SMLZ tanks it and hits a big fourth bullet onto Snow. And Killua walks out with his life.
They're able to disengage. Big waves stacking towards bottom, so the threat of a dive is potentially available. Killua, no flash, no summoner spells. With that wave, you could see Swift was hovering around, but nothing to be seen. They're able to persevere. They're able to survive. Now, the reason that I said 2015 FLICKR, by the way, is we were at that tournament.
Yeah.
We watched him just turn Rise into meta by himself.
In a single tournament.
He was just that.
He made a champion viable.
The most amazing player at that tournament.
That was the Broccoli tournament.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was.
When he won the finals.
Yeah, he did a roll in the finals.
Doinby looking for the knock-up. Flash gets him back away, and he turns around for the shockwave. Doinby, don't you do this to me. Don't deny a dive and find a kill.
Ooh. Not this time. A little bit too early into the game to turn that one right around and have that much burst. Just a lost chapter at the moment for Doinby, but still a lot of control. Being able to defuse a gank like that by any means is a positive, let alone turning that defusal of a gank into a one trade and a free recall for yourself. So you take those, and Flawless
is level 6. Flash is ready. Command, protect, plus the distance. Dustbringer's not enough, but he's under the turret. Flawless soaks a hit. Swift looking for the auto. Slowed again by the distance. Doinby protects his carry, but so too does Swift.
Swift was just waiting in the wings as well to keep his mid laner alive. That was a very close 2v2 between them. Whilst it wasn't a raw, strict 2v2 scene between them, they're all able to get out alive by protecting one another. And that was the name of the game there. Now, another thing that we quickly need to touch on, we haven't yet, is top lane. In last game, our Mouse was smashing him. And you're getting to see it happen again right now.
He's got the CS advantage. Now, Flash and Ignite are the choices for Yoguan in this lane, as Mouse is just being a big old bully.
Yeah. The adaptations from Yoguan are super noticeable. He's gone for the unsealed spellbook Ignite top lane. So he'll be able to change that to teleport if he would like, but not permanently. Not ideal for Yoguan, but what it does give him is a laning phase.
I imagine his base summoner spell is probably the teleport. He's just sitting on the Ignite for now.
Ooh, that's up for debate. Don't know. We'll find out.
Could be looking for it later. Yeah, we'll see if he gets multiple teleports off within a few minutes, because you can't return back to the same summoner spell.
And speaking
of,
you
use a handful.
It's 8:13, so
it
our
is.
teleport is a little bit lower in cooldown. We will be on 8:13 until Friday.
Yes, when we swap over to 8:14.
Oh, God.
Flawless face checks. Spell shield snare. Coco follows. Stand United. Swift over the wall. Tries to sidestep. But the Stand United was canceled out. Killua doesn't get the chance to join in.
Yeah, Killua cancelled and Coco sniping him. Flawless. He was absolutely playing that one out like he was going to have a Shen coming in to help him. So unfortunately, the accidental misplay there from Rogue Warriors jungler. The bigger misplay, of course, was being completely out of position in the first place. There was a nice little catch from Vici, though. In the right place at the right time, knowing where their opponent jungler would be. Oh, God. He missed.
Oh, wow, gets pulled in twice. The Bone Skewer and Ravenous Flock is so strong at moving people out of position. But still, SMLZ seems to be doing just fine in this lane. 30 CS ahead.
Yeah, just quietly.
Yeah, pretty good. Even in the mid lane, Doinby is another 30 CS ahead of Coco. And in the top lane, another 13 CS for Mouse and another 13 CS for Flawless.
Here they go again in mid lane. No summoners in the way of a flash.
That's the Shockwave, pulls them back in, but there's the CC. It's a late cleanse on top of the smoke screen, and Spellflux finds the kill.
2 red buffs as well on Swift and on Coco, and they find themselves a bit of revenge under Doinby. The last gank wasn't successful. The second time around works the charm. Now, all of this early aggression starting to focus itself around the middle lane. You mentioned it before, the quiet overachieving of Rogue Warriors through their CS advantages really does start to mount up and become item advantages. That's what we're about to start seeing really come across the board, and that's when things may shift heavily into the favor of Rogue Warriors. There's already a sizable CS advantage, even though it's 2-2 in kills.
Yeah, once we get a few more recalls and item advantages, or sorry, CS to complete those item advantages.
Yeah, he
That's
does have
the Ignite.
teleport.
Yep, there it is. Just using it in case a fight were to break out. And still, we're seeing a lot of presence coming out of Rogue Warriors on the map. Also, speaking of 2015 Rise, guess which skin Coco is using?
Is it SKT?
It is.
Oh,
That's the one.
amazing.
It all ties together. We knew this from the beginning. It was on the script. All right, now they found a kill onto Caveman using the stopwatch, but
No, he missed.
1 and 2 finds himself that kill.
Jin's meant to count to 4. You meant to finish all of the shots off. No matter, Rogue Warriors, they'll get the Infernal Dragon afterwards as well. SMLZ will be able to help secure that one. That's just an easy pick.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke towards Vici's composition being a pretty big pick style comp with a Rise, with a Swain, and with a Pike running around, even the Ornn ultimate. But at the same time, that's not to discredit Rogue Warriors and their capability of locking and picking someone down, particularly when Mouse actually gets to join his team. Because when he does, the Jace Shock Blast with Gate combo is very long range. When you put that with a Jin, just as long range as the threat of a dive
They
here.
could be looking for Snow.
Hard pressed to make it work because they don't
without
have
the minion
ults
wave.
and minions.
Now Rogue Warriors, Doinby and Flawless trying to reclaim control over that mid lane. You saw Mouse stepping back without knowing where Swift and Coco had gone. Plays it safe, and that will get a little bit more CS to Yaguan and allow him to catch up. But SMLZ, he's just slowly working down this turret all by his lonesome. His support is back at base.
It's pretty much impossible to stop him when you don't have the Never move up. Jin has Boots of Swiftness, so he's unstoppable, to be frank with you. The Swain is looking at him. Now, Swain should never die. It is the stopwatch done. He has got level 6 there. So even with that, looking at a dive in bottom, wasn't going to be too successful without those ults there.
Now we actually see a roam from Caveman off the back of his death. He's heading towards the top side of the map and was looking for Mouse, but he did just complete a recall, even the assist ping. So still, that's more time for SMLZ to push bottom. It's an attempted play from Vici, but it costs them
no
first
one
brick.
gets the gold. There was a missing ping on the tower as it died. Those two minions, they're not MVPs at all. They're traitors.
That's the calculated by Vici.
Vici have just sent a letter to those minions saying the check is in the mail.
Thank you. Check, yeah, on the way.
That's 600 gold gone completely missing, but it's still item spikes for Rogue Warriors.
Storm Razors and Luden's Echo for Doinby. And no, Storm Razors does not apply for Jin's passive. That is one of the few exceptions for the item.
It does still give him a guaranteed crit
yeah.
on shots 1 through 3 if he bides his time between shots as well. And usually the rapid
real
fire
tough.
cannon is seen second, so he'll be critting more often as Storm Razor charges faster.
Yep.
Very scary thing. Also, as an item, giving AD and attack speed is uniquely powerful on someone like Jin as Doinby. Could be caught here.
Looking for a fight. Big damage. Shockwave misses Doinby. He uses the cleanse, but that's the execution. Kill gold passed over to Coco. Now Mouse and Flawless looking to escape. An early spell shield, but he flashes. Still caught by the Brittle for a big knock-up. Realm Warp for the dive. Coco flashes again. Teleport, meanwhile, to defend the bottom tier 2 as SMLZ was pushing up. And Vici take the initiative and find an opening.
Yeah, they get more than one kill for themselves. Doinby had flash, but he was just killed before he could get to the wall. So he's not able to flash to safety. Caveman locking down both of those, but giving gold, of course, to the rest of his team as he locked them down with the ultimates. Now, Rogue Warriors, the second the teleport was used to defend bottom, they go mid.
That's the Shadow Dash, that's the snare. Coco, he's got no flash. He used it to find the kill a moment ago. Caveman's on the way to save him. And no! Opens up the curtain and isn't even able to get the kill off the back. Dancing Grenade is not enough.
Oh, look at SMLZ on your screen. He was so upset. No, he doesn't really. He just gets outplayed there by the Rise by a fair amount. And for all of Vici, that's another kill secured.
I think the thing that we have to take note of is that Vici, this is now, what, the third time, the fourth time that they have outplayed Rogue Warriors across the map?
I mean, that's fair, but I also, I don't want to strictly credit Vici for this because they've just been hard losing lanes and Rogue Warriors are extending laning phase just to try and pick at the wound, you know? They're not actually playing the most Rogue Warriors style game. They're just playing a pick composition. It feels like in a weird way, it feels like they're playing with their food, to be frank with you. Now, we'll see if it does result in something, because Vici with momentum is still a powerhouse team. We have seen their late game team fights be immaculate once they get there. The likes of Yasuo on Fire Rain, which is what it was before. So
this always has been the strength of Vici. When they do find wins, is when they can set the tempo, set the pace of the game. They are very good with control and speed. The struggle is that they have never had consistency in finding that control, finding the speed of the game, and forcing the enemy teams to march to their steps. But now, it seems like they might have a window to do that. They've just picked up Rift Herald. They've enacted a lane swap to counter SMLZ and Killua. But they're still leaving themselves open in some pretty vital ways.
They've all recalled, so Rogue Warriors now group up as 3 from mid, take the turret. Now they go top lane, look for the third and last remaining outer turret there as well. And suddenly, Rogue Warriors, oh god, it's a bit disconnected.
Over the wall, Doinby's left behind, but they're still looking for the dive. Snare misses Caveman. Appears just in time for the save. Shockwave onto Snow, but he's still nice and tanky. Now Curtain Call not yet ready for SMLZ. He's instead just going to walk up and finish off that turret.
And the real end goal was, of course, the turret. They just push and they brute force their opponents away from the structure. We said they're playing with their food. They are having a bit of fun running around on the Rift, because Vici, they make the correct steps, they do the appropriate measures to get kills, but then recall straight afterwards. Rogue Warriors, they just bounce back and they exploit that.
Finding an opening once again. Vici leave themselves vulnerable, and it pays off. Now SMLZ is stepping up here. This could be another opening.
That's up.
Coco and Swift. There's the Realm Warp. And Swift decides not to take it. Recall completed from Killua. And the Rift Herald immediately used. Now, Doinby's in the bottom lane right now, and Flawless is as well. Killua cancels his recall, but this Herald might be able to answer back with Vici's first turret. Charge breaks it down. The flash engage from Killua. They found Coco. He shields himself, but will die. Mouse joins the fight, chasing Caveman down, turning instead for Yuguan. Come on, guys! He just got into the LPL. Fourth bullet will miss.
Yeah, throws it down the middle of the lane, just clearing the minions. Mouse with the immediate target selection swap, because Caveman goes out of vision. Swift and Doinby, they've found each other.
The Shockwave. Mouse is there. Bone Skewer finds Mouse, pulled back in by Snow's Ravenous Flock, but the wave is crashing in. Killua escorts it forward while Flawless finishes off the Infernal Dragon.
This is the Moscow 5 mantra right now from Rogue Warriors. They see Hero, they just kill Hero immediately. Doinby. He'll be alright, he's got his shield. SMLZ is also incredibly fast. That Rise ultimate used in the middle lane by Coco was realistically just about creating space, letting them summon the Herald, go towards a charge in the mid lane. They break a turret. They keep the gold difference within 3,000, though they lose a fight afterwards. They lose a second Infernal Dragon afterwards, and things start to stretch a little bit more in Rogue Warriors' favor.
Already 18 minutes, and it's a 3,500 gold advantage for Rogue Warriors. And we already mentioned that item lead just through lanes alone. Well, now it's 3 turrets to 1. Now it's double Infernal Dragon on a Jhin, Jace, Orianna with a Nocturne.
Oh my god.
There's a lot going wrong for Vici in this game when you look at how it's scaling up. Flawless is trying to 1v3 defend a blue buff that isn't even spawning yet.
That's a big mood.
It really is.
Look at what Doinby's missing.
Doinby finally grouping up SMLZ here. SMLZ is there. Mouse, along with the rest of the team, pulling the blue buff all the way back, making sure there's no chance. Now, we still got to mention that Caveman is stepping up. Flash, Hex Flash, Shadow Dash. And Caveman gets shut down by Mouse. Deep Teleport started and canceled by Yuguan.
Just Caveman things. He does do that. If you don't know Caveman, you don't know Vici Gaming. Now, Caveman is one of a couple of supports in our league who go on little journeys by themselves.
Yes.
PYL is another one that does it. Road is the third. Doinby, he's going to see them. Of course, a blue buff Orianna will throw the ball into every bush before she face checks it. Otherwise, she is not one of my Oriannas that I'm a fan of.
Yuguan does trade on the bottom side of the map. He's able to take down the tier 1. Mouse tried to get there in time, but the vision set up by Vici stalled out Doinby and Mouse long enough.
So here's the kicker. Through all of this, whilst it's been a fairly chaotic start to the game, we haven't seen Snow. This is the first time we'll really see him on our screen in quite some time. And the reason I bring that up is because during all of this, we've been looking at SMLZ hard farming. There is, at 19 minutes in the game, he's got 230 CS, and that is an incredible number for a Jhin. But in contrast, he is 80 CS ahead of his lane opponent in Snow. That is one of the smallest Swains in comparison to SMLZ at the moment.
That's real bad.
A mighty Jhin.
Stand United. Call the Forge God and the Bone Skewer. No Ravenous block, but Shockwave. Coco's already dead. Vici, I'm not so sure that they want this fight anymore. The thumbs up from SMLZ as he counters that kill by finding one of his own. Now Vici, they're all grouped up, and SMLZ has got his curtain call.
Yeah, no real chance to take the fight there from Vici, just a major disengage afterwards. Again, they thought they had the pick. Flawless is okay. Caveman's just hooking people because it's off cooldown. Here they go, they'll push mid lane. This just feels so basic. You know, it's just so easy from them. It almost feels like they've outclassed their opponents and they're just winning the game casually.
Slow and steady for Rogue Warriors as they are opening up more and more advantages over Vici. Every attempt that we see Vici make is being turned on its head.
You gonna finish that?
It is. He is, in fact. Coco's the one who steps forward. Remember, he's got the Room Prison. Visions of Empire finds Doinby. Caveman's looking to follow up with Swift. They're trying to head this off. That's the pull onto Doinby, but here comes Yuguan. Mouse completes it. Killua, Hex Splash out of the brush. SMLZ, low health and mana. There's Snow, pops the Ravenous Flock. Shockwave onto 3 and the Snare. He's going in, but that's not enough as perfect timing stalls it out. Mouse will die on the back, but they trade 1 for 1.
Look at SMLZ.
And SMLZ, he's trying to go in. Here comes Killua on the front. Meanwhile, Flawless split pushing in the top tier 2. The curtain call. Immediate flash Snare. He can't get in range, and he cannot kill SMLZ. Rogue Warriors keep him alive. Swift looking for 1. The collateral damage is dodged. Doinby gets the outplay with SMLZ, and that means the paranoia is activated. Emotes on top of it to add the salt to the wound.
Flawless gives a thumbs up from the top lane at the same time. He says, well done, gents. You take that team fight victory. SMLZ almost dies to some minions on the backside. They seem like a pretty big rival right now, even contrasting that of Vici. As tragically for Vici, that was their moment. That was the fight that they should have won, and it's just what could have happened in this case.
The shoulda, woulda, coulda story of Vici Gaming, and it all starts with them thinking they can take the fight, trying to force it, but Rogue Warriors stall.
The real MVPs here are Killua and Doinby. Doinby's going to hit a massive shockwave onto 3 people, and Killua saves his AD carry when he channels the ultimate with a taunt. So you'll see the shockwave come up now. Big from Doinby, hitting all of them, and that enables Rogue Warriors to find those first early kills. Mouse, whilst he goes down, does a significant amount of damage. And then SMLZ sees like he's got an opening here to press his ultimate, thinks he's got enough space. He really doesn't. But Killua saves him pretty much immediately before a Q can follow through. So clean from Rogue Warriors auxiliary members there. Doinby able to also shield him on the backside. Good flash. I don't think the ult was hitting either way, but still a very good flash, just in case. And 1 pop here. And a thumb up. A single thumb.
Now it should be noted, when you do set up emotes, you can set up an ace emote, so that when you ace the enemy team, it automatically pops an emote of your choice. I think that's why we saw Flawless and the remaining members of Rogue Warriors drop the emotes after that kill.
Maybe.
But Doinby's thumbs up was a little bit later than SMLZ.
It felt pretty intentional to me.
So just putting that out there, as it's now 12-7, 23 minutes in, 9,000 gold, 9,000 gold, 9,000 gold.
That is in fact the number, 9,000 gold, Dom. Thank you. In case you didn't hear him just before, the gold difference is 9,000.
Wait, what was that?
This summer.
There's a lot. Coming to a Summoner's Rift near you, Rogue Warriors 9,000. Vici Gaming. Who will blast whom? Who will emote over their enemies' corpses? It's always SMLZ. That's always the answer.
Vici are being blasted as well, so
really
we have
are.
the answers.
They're having a tough time. Swift is trying to step up, but there is no vision. Look at their lack of vision. Visions of Empire on the Baron. That's how unsafe this is.
They've got a single blue trinket as well on Coco on the rise, but he is farming that middle lane first. And I think Rogue Warriors are very clearly baiting the bush. I think Vici are very clearly aware that Rogue Warriors are baiting the bush. Even that was a clear indicator.
The first ward gets placed and whoop, cleared out by SMLZ. And now Rogue Warriors, they're perhaps starting to feel a little bit emboldened. And again, Doinby and Swift, these two know each other. They were on the same team with Chaogu Reapers in 2015. They had that falling out in 2016, but they still were the dynamic duo. They know each other's styles. Now Yuguan is going to try forcing a fight as the Call of the Forge God splits the wickets
that's a
and
big
the dive in, plus the Orianna Shockwave. The Wombo Combo Bombo onto Vici Gaming as they run for the hills. And they're going to lose Yaguan as well. Mouse trying to chase onto Caveman, but that's 4 members of Vici dead.
And that's just how good a Rogue Warrior is. That's such a hard to execute combo, Orianna and Nocturne. The range of a Nocturne's ultimate is significantly higher than the leash range of an Orianna ball. The hook's not going to be anything. Very inconsequential here, Rogue Warriors. They'll push forwards, they'll get the inhib. They may even just end the game.
Ooh, that one landed, but I don't think Caveman wanted it. As he dashes back, SMLZ is still there. Now Teleport's ready for Snow and Yaguan. And Caveman's just being a nuisance. Whoa! Oh boy.
He's almost a dead nuisance at that. SMLZ wants
Whoa.
the W. He's out of range. And Caveman gets all of his health back anyway.
Heals himself up. That gift of the drowned one allows himself to charge back to full. And Doinby is going to push bottom in the meanwhile, but that was Vici trying to force a fight to stop the engage.
Oh no.
But Flawless flashes the wall. Swift follows. Guardian Angel activated inside of the Baron pit. Swift is going to take some damage.
Swift jumps over the wall.
Nowhere for Flawless to go. Snared and dead.
They could have let the Baron kill him for what it's worth as well. There was no way out for Flawless. The second he flashed and Swift had one of his own. Lights out for the jungler of Rogue Warriors. So maybe they buy 30 seconds. I don't think they do. I think that Rogue Warriors will see this as a challenge and they'll take the 4v. All right.
Oh, that's the challenge. Mouse flexing on Swift, muscling him down. Meanwhile, super minions are pushing onto the Nexus, and Vici are trying to rush back and defend, but that means the Baron is left barren.
The odds have been even very quickly there by Rogue Warriors. Swift just doing the Raptors. It goes down very quickly to Mouse. A lot of damage from the Jace. Not sure what else to tell you, really.
Recall finally completed out of Coco to defend, but he's already lost 1 Nexus turret to the minions. Rogue Warriors forcing Caveman back. They've got control of the pit. They've got control of the game.
And they're going to start this as well. Flawless is alive, so he's going to be able to come over. And we'll see if he gets here even in time. Teleports also by Vici to get into the area.
Now it's a 13,000 gold difference between the two, but level 13 to level 12.
Just wait for
Swift is out of the Nexus. Knockup will only find Killua. Down to 3,000 health. Flawless gets in, uses the Paranoia for vision denial, and Baron secured, though that was Mouse who picked it up, and the engage on the back of it. Command protect. Another Wombo is getting prepared, but they don't even need the Wombo as Yaguan gets destroyed. Coco over the wall finds SMLZ. That's going to slow down Rogue Warriors' push.
Yeah, Coco just assassinates him constantly. That's not the first time we've seen Coco do this. He's been playing decently well, all things considered here. For the side of Vici, the one real beacon of hope for the roster. Coco coming in his 3rd game now in the LPL. He was in the TCL prior to this.
Yes.
Interestingly enough.
Previously a newbie before that, but Cloud Dragon picked up by Rogue Warriors on the other side. Now it is a nearly 14,000 gold advantage 28 minutes in. To put that into perspective, Rogue Warriors have earned, what is that, 500 more gold than Vici Gaming per minute. In 5 minutes, Rogue Warriors on average get 1 more item completion, 2,500 gold, than Vici Gaming.
It's like a rapid fire cannon.
Yes, or even 3,000 gold in 6 minutes, comparatively. Yeah, Caveman, you can't walk there. The siege is being prepared.
That's just going to be pretty rudimentary here, just basic stuff. Rogue Warriors, they'll push forwards. Vici in a 4v5 situation right now. Mouse on the opposing side of the map does have teleport, but we'll see if he even feels the need to use it as here they go.
Yeah, SMLZ is in the front. Call of the Forge God and Ravenous Flock. Teleport used by Mouse as his wave is pushing in. It will be completed as he joins in, dropping a Shock Blast, but missing Caveman. SMLZ does not. That's the 4th bullet, Stormrazor.
He's got the Infinity Edge done, critting for about 1,300 on minions, so before resistances in that case. Now, SMLZ on the Jhin, moves fast and deals damage when he hits a crit. Caveman's just...
yeah, he's going way too deep looking for the execution. He finds it, but he's going to be dead. As a result of that, recall started and canceled by Rogue Warriors as they're now pushing onto the bottom lane inhibitor. Vici have still got 4 members standing, but losing that support means they lose a lot of the execution potential. The snare lands. Coco procs the stopwatch, but he's got nowhere to go. Flashes back under the Nexus turret, but Yaguan gets flung as well. SMLZ chucks out 1 bullet. The flash, he gets another kill. And he's going down for another. Snow is going to activate Demonic Ascension. Shadow Dash onto the Nexus. The massive crit, but it's not enough. Doinby shuts it down. And Swift will watch the burning ashes of his team.
He's going to watch SMLZ's gun.
SMLZ's thinking about it. Gets the stealth, but it's Rogue Warriors onto the Nexus. breaking it down before Swift and SMLZ can go mano-a-mano. And Rogue Warriors take the series 2-0.
And we'll never know who would have won that trade on the top side to end the game off. But what we do know is that Rogue Warriors have absolutely smashed their opponents in Vici Gaming. It was a first versus last battle here on the Rift, so it's not a big surprise to see this result happen. And there are glimpses at best from Vici in this case, as Rogue Warriors just completely outclassed them in every conceivable way. And in that second game, even able to just have some fun with it.
Doinby moving along down the line. We get the glimpse of his handshake. Yugwan looking absolutely shattered after that loss. His first series in the LPL. Getting absolutely torn apart by Mouse and Rogue Warriors. But still, we do have to commend Rogue Warriors for their exceptional skill and not allowing their emotion to cloud their judgment. Though their performance not exactly perfect, that's not ever what we expect from this team.
I will say you've got a feel for Yugwan. His first game in the LPL, and he has to go against Rogue Warriors firstly, and he's on Vici Gaming with all of the odds stacked against him. And then he loses his lane, and he does make bad decisions himself. It's not entirely Vici betraying him by any means. That's a rough start for a player.
The struggle.
That's the kind of start that really shakes you. That was the start that Audi had when he started in EDG. Of course, he is the other top laner for Vici, so I'm sure that is a feeling that's very reminiscent between players.
But now that Rogue Warriors get the chance to make their way backstage and prepare, they find themselves at 10-2 in the standings. Still one of the best teams in the league by far, and a 29-minute, 45-second win. Doinby, good God, that's a lot of damage.
Every advance that Vici made, for the most part, through that early stage of the game was diffused, if not bested, by Rogue Warriors just as individuals. Go towards the ganks in the bottom lane, SMLZ comes out on top. You go towards mid lane, Doinby shockwaves Coco, and suddenly he wins that trade as well. And there were moments through the middle of the game where Vici were able to get some picks, most of them onto Flawless or Doinby, through the river, where there was some vision control from Vici, but past that, even that was matched and diffused. A Shen ultimate is all it really takes to settle the score in that regard.
I think that's where we do still have to commend Vici for looking for the opportunities, not just falling over in this series and still trying to fight back, because, again, the odds were stacked against them to try and bring down Rogue Warriors. The way that they did that, though, by focusing through Flawless in the jungle, by trying to get around Doinby in these weird locations and finding the kills, just didn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't come off the back of this set and say that I saw improvements from Vici, even with the roster shifts there. That's the big concern that I have from this one. But really, it was last versus first. They just got bodied.
Yeah, that's going to happen sometimes. But hey, that's going to do it for us. Now it's time for our analysts to break down that Rogue Warriors series victory.
Yeah, that's
it's over.
One way to get a 2-0. That damage graph, all of Vici's champions put together, I don't think cracked more damage than Doinby did.
Yep.
That is bodied, shellacking, disaster.
Whatever you want to call it. It wasn't great, but it was like the true breakup, you know?
Oh, that was a messy breakup. My favorite
Game by his hot girlfriend, and it's just like, oh boy. Whoa. And he brought Coco along to see it as well. Ooh.
It was just the thumbs up when Doinby killed Swift with the command dissonance. He was like, yep. See ya, mate.
What is SMLZ in this like as well? Because he's just like off at the side, just like bringing up the Tam Kench. Like,
I mean,
just the observer.
Frankly, if it was Doinby upgrading Swift by having Flawless, then SMLZ I think is the cat.
Yeah. He's a sassy cat at that as well.
Yeah, he's like one of those hairless cats too, where they stick to things. You have to clean up behind them. Yeah. They make a suction sound when they pop off. Pike grabs SMLZ. He's like, oh, I don't want this.
That's fair, yeah, because he had a Shen on top of him as well. Yeah, it wasn't great. And it was just, it was just unfortunate all around, really, for Vici in this match. But and to be honest, like everyone was expecting this to come into this series. To be honest, with like how Rogue Warriors were playing.
I don't think anyone
Vici
expected that. No.
All right, fair, but like, okay, yeah, but like, you look at Vici and they're trying to see something new, and they bring in a couple of new players. Guan had like probably one of the worst times to come in, honestly, as a new player into the top lane. Like, you probably want to ease them in with like a game against one of the lower table teams, like anybody but Rogue Warriors, because when they win a game, they will like smash you. You know what I mean? It's not like an EDG where they just like they'll win, you know, through like macro, like in a smart way. It's just like they'll just keep punching you, and then they'll pull back and then keep punching you again until you die, and then you feel it.
Yeah, it was a rough game. I think that Rusty made the best point there over on the cast and saying, you know, the issue with looking at Vici here is we expected them to lose, but you expected some sort of growth here. You know, you blew up your roster, you're putting it together.
Yep.
Yes, you'll give them the benefit of the doubt that there are growing pains, but ultimately, it was far worse than the previous roster that we had seen. Some good moments from Coco, particularly on his Rise game in game number 2 there, but ultimately everything collapsed for Vici. They just got torn to shreds.
That's pretty much it. But we can actually highlight that Coco was actually pretty good in the mid lane. You know, if you're looking at like comparing mid laners from that, we can take a look at this bottom lane fight. I mean, this is basically just a showcase, I think, of just individual players.
And everyone individually at different times. Doinby with the blue buff is the real MVP. The fact that he dodges out from the Ornn, and the Ornn just can't quite reach him. Massive shockwave. Kahlua, even though he didn't hit the Hex Splash initially, still attempting here. But this is where things get really exciting. The immediate turn after SMLZ opens up his ultimate from Doinby and Kahlua to just blow Coco up there. Beautiful to watch. SMLZ gets to walk away from it.
The pop on the back end.
Here's the true breakup moment. Again, Doinby still has the blue buff. Swift misses his ultimate on SMLZ. Command dissonance. Thank you, honey.
There it is. And
oh, you didn't get the thumbs up!
Didn't get the cat either. It's just like damage instrument at the side. Amazing. And that was literally it. That was the entire story in a nutshell.
I do want to talk about the composition though from Rogue Warriors. So Rogue Warriors for me are becoming kind of like gimmick-oriented compositions. They're super fun. They're very LPL-esque. It used to be that OMG were the team that were known for kind of this creativity and how they assembled compositions. Not Icons OMG. I'm talking like that good OMG, like that 2014 OMG.
Many years back.
Yeah, the cool going OMG. This one is Jace, Nocturne, and Jhin. Like. The sniper composition. We talk about like guided missile with Camille and Galio. I feel like this is the true guided missile because the ability to snipe you into the backline was just absurd and super fun to watch. So big fan of this comp.
I would say this is laser guided because you had Jhin with the ultimate with the laser guiding system, and then you're like shooting. Yeah,
is it the laser comp?
Yeah, the laser guided.
Okay.
Comp.
Oh, and the Nocturne can be the cat because you have the little laser and then the cat flies in.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. 100% nailed it. But it was also the fact that, like, talking about gimmicks, this is how Rogue Warriors have played the last 4 games now.
Yep.
Because they had Renekton into Talon in the mid lane. Then they had Poppy into Irelia in the mid lane. Now they have this laser-guided composition that we saw out from them. And it's just like, there's so much creativity going on here. And it's just like, they make it work as well. Like, there's a clear goal. And they execute it multiple times in game. It's
very different creativity as opposed to what Snake are doing with the funnel compositions, where they're being creative about the strategy that they're playing out on the map. Rogue Warriors are creative in how they execute their strategy on the map with these specific champion combinations. And again, it's everything that I love about the LPL in terms of the team fighting. You know, it's the execution in the team fights, how we're layering our cooldowns, where we're actually zoning people off. That last team fight is a perfect example of why the LPL are such good team fighters and then their ability to do it with these very creative compositions when they do take Poppy into the mid lane and things like that.
So I would now say, because we're comparing RW to old OMG, can we finally pass on the mantle? Because I think there's only one true team at a time in the LPL that can truly have like the creative, the Chinese aggression team. Because I know it's become a meme in the West, but really
Rogue
it's
Warriors.
only one team, and I actually think that Rogue Warriors now have got this belt.
Okay, here, hand me the photo.
Yeah.
This is my trophy. I would like to propose this photo of Doinby and Swift, as so photoshopped by myself. You can see it was a lovely Edward and Bella photo. It is now the 2 previous lovers. And I would like to ask this as the trophy, that Rogue Warriors, you are the true Chinese aggression team. Welcome back.
Yep.
That's it. You can
Congratulations. There you go. Hopefully someone translates that for them. So, but yeah, there you have it. So Rogue Warriors have now got the Chinese aggression team, and I think they've shown it on the international stage as well as the domestic one. So everybody knows that that is the case.
They're the new exciting hot team to watch. I know that I'm a fan. I think there was a great thing that I saw on social media the other day where someone was like, "Who's your favorite team in the LPL?" And the response was Doinby. And you're like, yep.
And speaking of Doinby, he is our man of the match coming into this series and indeed this game. Congratulations to you, Doinby, on the Orianna pick.
Yeah, not much to say here. 7-2 and 12. When you have a damage percentage like that, when you have a KDA like that, things probably went pretty sideways.
Yeah, those are some big numbers. And again, this is Doinby down to a T. He'll either play a tank in the mid lane, a bruiser, any mage that has a shield in some capacity. If you actually, I was thinking about it the other day, and I actually went through all his picks, and I was like, what does he play in the mid lane that is a mage? And he only picks shield champions.
Yeah.
Yep.
He plays Morgana, Lulu, Ryze, and Orianna.
Or which have shields. Yep. So you can accurately predict what he's going to go for. Or any tank ever. He always dips into the Bruiser champion.
It's about the utility, because that's ultimately what Doinby was. When he originally came into the LPL on the QG Reapers, he was known as the secondary support, played exclusively Lulu and Morgana support, and would just follow Swift around MacNoon style, where Swift would dive in, and instead of giving resources to the ADC like the rest of the LPL teams, they would put all of their resources around their jungle, which was very, very interesting and unique to watch. And it was really only empowered because of Doinby's unique itemization and champion pool. And now that he's been unleashed and he gets to play, you know, things like the Renekton, like the Kled, like the Nautilus,
Poppy.
like the Maokai, like the Poppy, and then he has all of these shield mages. He's just a super creative player, not just in his champion pool and how he builds out the champions, but also how he executes things in the lane phase and where his priority is. To me, he's the ultimate pressure-oriented mid laner. He's not there to kill you, but he will control you, and then it's how he unlocks the pieces around him, which makes him a super carry.
He is the super creative Doinby. He is the super in every possible way. But yeah, so enough about us talking about Doinby. Let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's matches that will be coming your way. Now, this won't be, of course, broadcasted on the English stream, but it will be happening on the Mandarin stream, so make sure to check out our partners on Panda and Douyu, and that will be Suning Gaming taking on Snake in the Snake Pit, and then we'll be flying over to Chengdu with Invictus Gaming taking on OMG.
Bit of a globetrot right there. For me, Suning versus Snake, naturally that's probably going to be the most competitive match, although OMG are coming off a victory and starting to slowly climb up the rungs.
Again, I think that's also a good example of them having their fist out and BLG running into it. You know, you can debate that one on a different session. However, on Thursday, also remind you if you didn't catch the start of the show, that we will have a special broadcast coming your way. That'll be Rogue Warriors taking on EDG, and that will happen at 7 PM China time. So make sure to Google whatever that is, or Bing, or whatever, depending on the country that you're in. Get past the Great Firewall of China, and yeah, make sure that you tune in for that broadcast.
And reminder that this is because of the Asia Games, so moving the match towards Thursday, which means you have 7 days of LPL action. There are no break days, and you get a kick-ass match in Rogue Warriors versus Edward Gaming.
Exactly. So I'm never going to forgive you if you're just like, I can never see the LPL, I can never find it. Well, we're on every single day of the week, so you can find us. We'll always be here, or check us out on VODs. We'll be here as well. But thank you so much for watching on behalf of myself, my FLICKR, my entire broadcast crew. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on Thursday.